Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 2, Text 18. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino prameyasya tasmad yudhyasva bharata. Synonyms: Antavantaha, perishable. Ime, all these. Dehaha, material bodies. Nityasya, eternal in existence. Yuktaha, it is so said. Sharirinaha, the embodied souls. Anashinaha, never to be destroyed. Aprameyasya, immeasurable. Tasmat, therefore. Yudhyasva, fight. Bharata, O descendant of Bharata. Translation: Only the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Purport: The material body is perishable by nature. It may perish immediately, or it may do so after 100 years. It is a question of time only. There is no chance of maintaining it indefinitely. But the spirit soul is so minute that it cannot even be seen by an enemy, to say nothing of being killed. As mentioned in the previous verse, it is so small that no one can have any idea how to measure its dimension. So from both viewpoints, there is no cause of lamentation, because the living entity can neither be killed as he is, nor can the material body, which cannot be saved for any length of time, be permanently protected. The minute particle of the whole spirit acquires this material body according to his work, and therefore observance of religious principles should be utilized. In the Vedanta Sutras, the living entity is qualified as light because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Light. As sunlight maintains the entire universe, so the light of the soul maintains this material body. As soon as the spirit soul is out of this material body, the body begins to decompose. Therefore, it is the spirit soul which maintains this body. The body itself is unimportant. Arjuna was advised to fight and sacrifice the material body for the cause of religion. Text 19. Yayenam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. Synonyms: Yaha, anyone. Enam, this. Veti, knows. Hantaram, the killer. Yaha, anyone. Cha, also. Enam, this. Manyate, thinks. Hatam, killed. Ubhau, both of them. Tau, they. Na, never. Vijanitaha, in knowledge. Na, never. Ayam, this. Hanti, kills. Na, nor. Hanyate, be killed. Translation: He who thinks that the living entity is the slayer or that he is slain does not understand. One who is in knowledge knows that the self slays not nor is slain. Purport: When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as is evident from the previous verses. nor is the living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only. This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic injunction is Mahimshyat Sarva Bhutani, never commit violence to anyone. Nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state, as well as by the law of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically. Text 20. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyaha ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Synonyms: na, never; jayate, takes birth; mriyate, never dies; va, either; kadachit, at any time, past, present or future; na, never; I am, this; bhutva, came into being; bhavita, will come to be; va, or; na, not; bhuyaha, or has come to be; ajaha, unborn; nityaha, eternal; shashvataha, permanent; I am, this; puranaha, the oldest; na, never; hanyate, is killed; hanyamane, being killed; sharire, by the body. Translation: For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Purport: Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like the body. Sometimes the soul is called the steady or kutastha. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformations. It takes its birth in the womb of the mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death. And because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present or future. He is eternal, ever existing and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of birth, etc. of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old as the body does. The so-called old man, therefore, feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes of the body do not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree, nor anything material. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts of the body, namely children, are also different individual souls, and owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence, but the soul has neither offshoots nor change. Therefore, the soul is free from the 6 changes of the body. In the Katha Upanishad also, we find a similar passage which reads, Na jayate mriyate va vipaschin Nayam kutaschinna vibhuva kaschet ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. Katha Upanishad, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 18. The meaning and purport of this verse is the same as in the Bhagavad Gita, but here in this verse there is one special word, vipaschit, which means learned or with knowledge. The soul is full of knowledge or full always with consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. Even if one does not find the soul within the heart where he is situated, one can still understand the presence of the soul simply by the presence of consciousness. Sometimes we do not find the sun in the sky owing to clouds or for some other reason, but the light of the sun is always there and we are convinced that it is therefore daytime. As soon as there is a little light in the sky early in the morning, we can understand that the sun is in the sky. Similarly, since there is some consciousness in all bodies, whether man or animal, we can understand the presence of the soul. This consciousness of the soul is, however, different from the consciousness of the Supreme because the Supreme Consciousness is all knowledge, past, present, and future. The consciousness of the individual soul is prone to be forgetful. When he is forgetful of his real nature, he obtains education and enlightenment from the superior lessons of Krishna. But Krishna is not like the forgetful soul. If so, Krishna's teachings of Bhagavad Gita would be useless. There are two kinds of souls, namely the minute particle soul, Anu Atma, and the super soul, the Vibhu Atma. This is also confirmed in the Katha Upanishad in this way. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atmasya jantor nihito guhayam tamakratuhu pashyati vita shoko dhatuhu prasadan mahimanam atmanaha. Katha Upanishad, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 20. Both the super soul Paramatma and the atomic soul Jivatma are situated on the same tree of the body within the same heart of the living being, and only one who has become free from all material desires as well as lamentations can, by the grace of the Supreme, understand the glories of the soul. Krishna is the fountainhead of the super soul also, as it will be disclosed in the following chapters, and Arjuna is the atomic soul, forgetful of his real nature. Therefore, he requires to be enlightened by Krishna or by his bona fide representative, the spiritual master.